Hey, it's Erica. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to do a quick video today. Funny, I'm assuming it's gonna be quick. It might not be. I'm hoping it will be. But last night, Helloleesh, a creator whom I've talked about a few times now on my channel, she went on what I personally see as an ableist tirade against autistic people, but really against the entire disabled community. Because if you go after one part of the disabled community, you're going after the entire disabled community, in my personal opinion. So yeah, I didn't want to make another video about her this suddenly because well, you know that I feel like she kind of talks a lot about Gabby Hanna, and her channel, in my opinion, has become the Gabby Show 2.0, and I don't want to become the Helloleesh Show 2.0. But since I talk about ableism at length on my channel, I felt like I had a duty to talk about this. You may not interpret this as ableism, and that is okay, but what I will say now is, even if you don't see it as ableist, if it hurts one person, please don't tell them to not be hurt by something that hurts them, because even if you are a part of the disabled community, if you're not offended by something, somebody else may be. And I don't like to dismiss other people's feelings, but of course you may have your own opinion on this, and that is perfectly fine. Sorry if I'm looking down. I'm opening up Twitter to get onto the thread that is ableist. I really hope she didn't delete it, but if not, just in case, I saved screenshots. Hashtag receipts. Do people say hashtag aloud anymore? I don't know, because I haven't been out in public in a while. I mean, I've been out in public, but I haven't socialized in a while, which is kind of sad. I really miss socializing. But yeah, anyway, ignore that little side tangent about my life. Okay, I'm looking for it right now. It seems like it's still up, so that's, I guess it's a good sign. I don't know if I want to say good, because I mean, it's still a very harmful thread to be out on the internet. But yeah. So the first tweet in the thread, and it's kind of hard to put the tweets together because one of them starts, but then she doesn't reply tweet to that one, but I'm assuming it's all supposed to be part of the same thread. And I'm not nitpicking her for that, because I'm very bad with Twitter, so I probably have done that many times. But the first tweet I can see in reference to this was made one day ago. I mean, it doesn't matter when it was made, but it reads, I'm going to need men like Shane Dawson and Jimmy Snow to learn how to own up to their actions without pulling the sympathy card at every turn. Shane dipping his toe back into SM waters, which I'm assuming is social media waters, with, quote, "I want to save this kitten," or "I'm trying not to be so hard on myself, isn't it?" And that tweet alone does not bother me at all. I actually agree with what she's saying. Like, when you've done something wrong, you can't just really pull distraction tactics to try to get people to forget about what you did. So right there, I don't have a real issue with that tweet. But then the thread continues. The next tweet that I can find says, "Jimmy being an a-hole," and she wrote the word, and don't worry, I'm not a prude, I'm not scared to curse, it's just that I'm trying to get monetized, and since I'm kind of new to this YouTube thing, I'm just paranoid, but okay. Ignore my little tangents. Jimmy being an a-hole is being an a-hole. It's not some slur meant for neurotypicals to discriminate against those with ASD, autism spectrum disorder. My best friend is an intellectual and an actual one, not the Jimmy Snow variety with ASD who has had to grow and learn how some behaviors hurt others and how he, and then the next tweet continues this. But before I continue on to the next tweet, I want to unpack some things that were said in this tweet. I believe she is using her friend as a token here. And while I believe Jimmy's behavior was asshole behavior, frankly, for her to discount the fact that many neurotypical people do use the phrase, "It's not autism, you're just an asshole," is frankly disgusting. Because the autistic people in my life have heard that many times. It's been thrown in their face, and for you to sit on your little high horse and try to claim that doesn't happen? No. Like, I am infuriated right now, in case you can't tell. Okay, I'm fine, don't worry about me. And the next tweet in the thread, and how he can properly engage in harmonious relationships. His willingness to learn has improved all of his relationships, and he is happier and proud of the man he has become. He has become now that he isn't hurting people as he navigates social situations. Same with another friend with whom I was in a relationship for 7 years. Okay. And my issue with this one is she is boiling down toxic and problematic behavior to autism. She is saying that this person is this way because they're autistic. And she's saying so, and I mean, to be fair, she hasn't put this into words. But what I believe is she's saying in between the lines is that autistic people are toxic, and until they learn to be able to exist in neurotypical society, they're gonna harm people and be terrible. And it's like, you're harming people and you're being terrible right now. Please. Please stop. Okay. Relationship for 7 years. He was recently assessed, and this willingness to learn and explore information about ASD has allowed him to begin to understand himself in relation to others. It's not an excuse for the way he mistreated me, and he's owned that. I gave up much of my own happiness to that man before he was assessed. So here, in my opinion, she's trauma dumping on us, and she's using that to make her argument that an autistic man has harmed her, so that when Jimmy Snow is exhibiting harmful behavior, it's because he's autistic, which I don't believe to be the case. And I mean, of course, autistic people can hurt people, but also neurotypical people harm autistic people on a regular basis with their ableism that is being shown right here in Helloleesh's Twitter tirade. With the newfound assessment and education, he can now reflect and own where he was wrong. He has also helped his loved ones, including me, of course she has to add that, understand him better. It's a two-way street, but the onus of accommodation and education is on the person to understand themselves and what they need from others, as well as what they need to do for others. And here's a seriously ableist trope. Disabled people are told all of our lives that our accommodations are our personal responsibility. I am told all the time, if you need something, it's on you to make people aware of that. And in and of itself, I don't know if that's problematic, and this might be my internalized ableism talking. But here's the thing, disabled people have to go through the world and kind of apologizing for what they need, and always asking for what they need, but non-disabled people can just move freely through the world without ever having to worry about that. Why is the onus of education always on disabled people? That is my question, Leash. Why? Because you're being ableist. And I'm almost in tears. God. The onus of accommodation and education is on the person, is on that person to understand themselves and what they need from others, as well as what they need to do for others. It's not as simple as, yeah, sometimes I'm an asshole, but that's neurotypicals telling us we have to conform. No, I can accommodate anything except asshole behavior. Whew, God. Can you accommodate anything, Leash? Can you? I mean, at this point, I really don't know the answer to that. I'm disturbed, and I'm not a fan of Helloleesh. but I didn't know she had this amount of bigotry inside of her, and frankly, I'm disgusted, and I'm devastated for the autistic people that are fans of hers and have to see her go on this disgusting tirade. Another person with ASD whose life mind became enmeshed with mine against my will, I don't know why she has to add that part, but okay, has failed to accept his wrongdoings or seek the education and therapy necessary to healthily navigate this world. His name is Ram Lyman or Kleeman, I don't know how to pronounce that, and you can learn about his involvement with gaming, with the gaming communities, the P word, so like preying on minors, stalking, and countless violations of the human rights of women and children. Google him. It's heartbreaking and disgusting. That's where lack of ownership of your own disorders, almost all of us have them, can take you. Okay, so to say almost all of us are autistic, no, sweetie, no. Sweetie, I feel like neurotypical people, and not just neurotypical people, because I don't know if Helloleesh is neurotypical, but I feel like people without autism, and again, I'm not autistic myself, love to say we all have a little bit of autism in us, when that's not the case. Like, because that's downplaying autism, and also that is kind of stealing people's identities from them. You know, you don't get to steal somebody's identity to just be like, oh, well, he all have that, so you don't get to have pride for this, especially during Disability Pride Month, which, Leash, I hate to break it to you, you're on this ableist tirade during Disability Pride Month. Thank you for that. Okay, Google him. It's heartbreaking. That's where the lack of ownership of disorders. And then this I can accept criticism, but only from qualified people is the biggest cop-out. Someone can pull in order to evade criticism and responsibility. From qualified people sounds very reminiscent of Gabby's abusive tirade against Rachel, citing that Rachel is not intelligent enough. She is. Not accomplished enough. She is. And too neurotypical. She isn't. To offer valid criticism. Yet the people making these cop-outs are the quickest to hold others accountable for their actions. That is the Gabbyist play in her book. That's not a word, but okay, let's just ignore that. If no one in your general audience is good enough to offer you valuable criticism, perhaps you need to be off the internet and deal only with those qualified to engage in discourse, because you've created a one-way street. People like Rachel and other countless members of these audiences who are neurodiverse have somehow managed to exist in the world harmoniously with work, like so many of us, giving and accepting criticism from anyone, offering it genuinely, and to anyone they want to offer to genuinely. And how do you handle similar situations? F off, block, you're a sick, twisted B-word who hasn't proved to be intelligent or accomplished enough. Shit's destructive. And if it makes me a bigot, someone who may or may not be neurodivergent, I don't know what all I'm working with, and science is still conflicted on what counts. Fuck. God. Leash, you can be neurotypical or neurodivergent and you can still be ableist. You can be disabled and still be ableist. Don't try to weaponize that against disabled people. You have proven to have lots of bigotry in you. And to anyone who thinks this interaction was okay, I implore you to please do some inner work, because this is some really ableist things that she said. And I'm hurt right now. I am extremely hurt. Oh, and wait. The thread didn't end there. Okay, what counts, because it isn't a competition. It's called Stop Being Assholes. And if you can't give a legitimate apology for horrid behavior, then spare us the hour-plus videos where you sprinkle your message with several reminders that your mental health is suffering. Now, I agree that Jimmy shouldn't have talked about his mental health at length in his apology video, because it did come across as manipulative, in my opinion. But that doesn't make this tirade any less ableist. If it is, we can have sympathy for that, but deal with it separately from an apology like the well-adjusted adults you like to pretend you are. Well, damn, I just may have outlined my next video with this thread. Maybe, Leash, but you also just outlined my next video that I'm filming right now. And you also hurt many disabled and autistic people with that rant. And I mean, you may not see this as ableist, and that's fine, but I implore you, if you don't perceive this to be ableist, please don't dismiss the people that were deeply hurt by this thread. I know I've gotten some comments on my last community post that autistic people have felt hurt by this. And I've been hurt by this, and I'm not autistic, at least not to my knowledge. I am neurodivergent, but this was hurtful. That was a bigoted rant, and it was disgusting. And I believe Helloleesh owes the disabled community, and particularly the autistic people, a sincere apology. And yes, I say sincere since she likes to nitpick other people's apologies. I hope she's ready to offer up a sincere apology to the autistic community, especially since this tirade occurred during Disability Pride Month. I don't have much else to say. I am offended, I am angry, I'm disgusted, I am sad. I hope you learned something or got something from this video. I'm sorry if I seem like low energy Erica today. That was a deeply upsetting thread to read through. And I have mixed emotions, because one side of me is is telling me, Erica, you're looking for something that's not there. But I believe that that side of me is me internalized ableism. But then the other side of me is like, this is deeply offensive. What she said was wrong, and it needs to be talked about. So I'm talking about it. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I know it's a lot longer than I intended it to be, but oh well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.